Well, hello and welcome to Stopbox here live from Resourcing Tomorrow here in London. I'm joined by the CEO of Holder Resources, Lance Mischler. Now, we met briefly yesterday at the Resourcing Tomorrow pitch battles. Definitely a very different company up there.
Yes.
Tell us about your company. Give us the elevator pitch.
Yeah, so Holder Resources, we're actually fourth generational gold miners. Our grandfather, though, is the one that went to Guyana in South America in 1993, where we're celebrating now 30 years of our ancestors being in Guyana doing operations. My brother Chad is actually boots on the ground, been living there since 2012. And we're actually been doing gold mining for the last 30 years, but now pivoting towards logging. So getting timber concessions due to recent events with the European Union uh, making an agreement with Guyana to source timber from Guyana, and which is opening up the doors a lot in Guyana for the timber industry.
Okay, so it's a gold prospect, but you're wanting to make a bit of a pivot to the timber
Yeah.
market. Why have you made that decision?
Yeah, really because of the huge opportunity. Like we're sitting on a lot of valuable assets right now with the timber aspect of it.
Yeah.
There's an open opportunity for the timber, and wherever you're at around here, I can see wood everywhere. Like there's wood is still used in everything. It's a renewable resource. You cut down a tree, you can plant a tree, and it starts over again in the process. So a lot of times people don't really recognize that, but it's an awesome opportunity to be in. And everywhere you go, like wood is still used today. And so there's a huge market for the European Union with that agreement to source timber from Guyana. But also, Guyana is the fastest growing economy in the world right now, grew by 62% in 2022, expected for double-digit growth for the next years to come. And so we're actually being able to get the trees to help build up the modern economy of Guyana, going from one of the poorest countries in South America to one of the richest in the next couple of years, perhaps one of the richest in the world over the next 5 to 10 years.
I mean, to make this commercial, though, I guess you're going to need a lot of timber, aren't you? Because, of course, it's
Yeah,
not valued the same as gold.
yeah.
But what gives us a sense of the market for timber here and the market that you'll be tapping with the land package that you have?
Yeah, so a lot of the trees in Guyana are hardwood. They're exotic hardwood trees. Some of the different trees that we talk about valuation, there's some trees that are worth $30,000 to $40,000 a tree.
Oh,
To be able to cut down and then get it to the market. It's highly sought after hardwood trees, where that wood is used for industrial, it's used for housing, it's used for shipbuilding, and some of the different woods are even used in the New York Harbor in New
okay.
York, and actually coming from Guyana. Guyana Greenheart, Guyana Washiba, very highly sought after hardwoods.
Okay. Have you done any projections as to what the figures might be, or we have to wait?
Yeah. So what we're looking right now is we've got about 200,000 acres of timber concessions within our control,
Okay.
and we project it to be close to maybe about $1 billion worth of timber.
$1 billion worth of
A
timber.
$1 billion worth of timber.
Okay. And how quickly can you, like, see some return on that?
Yeah. So what we're looking for is we're seeking some investment right now, working with
Okay.
some strategic investors. And once the money comes in, we can start revenuing right away. What we like to say is the crop is ready for the harvest.
Okay.
And so it's a very unique opportunity
Yeah.
where these trees are ready to go. It's not like planting corn, waiting for making sure
Sure.
the right amount of water, no drought. The trees are there. We've got the concessions, we've got the tags, and it's ready to go
Okay.
harvest.
So how much money are you looking for, and what do you need to get active?
Yeah, so we're looking to be able to get, right now we're seeking $15 to $25 million in funding.
Okay.
Not a huge amount, but that lays a solid foundation to where we want to go.
Okay.
And then leveling up from there. So the $15 million gets us started with the revenue, and the next $10 million helps us to solidify more resources.
Okay, so what will you do with that money when you get it? Buying equipment?
Buying equipment, most of it goes to CapEx, some working capital, to get really, we just need that first push of capital
Okay.
to get us really building on the cash cow.
And how quickly would you hope to get into cash flow then?
Within a couple of months. We're looking
Couple
within
of
30 to
months.
60 days. Yeah,
Okay.
as soon as the equipment is there's some that we can source locally. There's some that's
Okay.
going to have to be shipped, but we can turn on the hose
Okay.
pretty quick.
And have you got much interest from investors in this sort of prospect that you're offering?
Yeah, it's unique. Like we were talking about in the pitch battle, as soon as I mentioned it, people didn't know what to really do with it. But once they start to process it, they realize this is a really unique opportunity. And as I told the group before and other investors, we've been cutting trees down for 30 years to get to the gold. So we know how to cut the trees, right? But now we're able to actually get the license and permits to be able to sell those trees. And so what used to be a cost and expense to be able to get to the gold is now actually a revenue and a profit margin
Okay.
to be able to, before we even get to the gold.
Okay.
And so people see that we're making money on both
Both
sides.
sides. Okay, we'll come on to the gold in a moment, but when you talk about felling trees, the whole kind of deforestation, sustainability
Yeah.
comes into it. So I guess that's got to be high on your agenda here.
It is high on the agenda, but it's also high in the country of Guyana. So Guyana is very sustainable, like their sustainability practices are built into their laws and their rules and their regulations.
Okay.
So we're not looking to clear cut the forest. Actually, that's why even before on the gold opportunity that we had, we were not even able to sell the trees before this European Union agreement because we would have to bury them, let them just deteriorate because the country of Guyana didn't want people going in the name of gold mining and then just clear cutting the forest in the name of gold mining. But now that you've got the gold concessions, but you also have the timber concessions, and the timber concessions themselves, you can only cut so many trees per acre. So it's more about managing the forest than it is about deteriorating it. The story that I like to use is I've enjoyed rose bushes ever since I was a kid. And we know, especially for those who live in the northern climates, you have to cut back your rose bush every year, otherwise the frost is gonna, eat it up, and then it's gonna kill itself, or it won't bloom as well the next year. So really it's all about managing the forest, managing it, cutting it back so that it grows back healthier as it continues on with its life cycle.
And then coming on to the gold then, I guess you're not writing that off completely, certainly given the gold price performance recently.
Right. Yeah, 100%. So gold is in our blood. It's really it's a matter of our DNA for four generations. In Guyana, the Guyana Gold Shield, many people know that there's plenty of gold there. So historically, we've done a lot of alluvial gold mining, production, not just exploration, but we've done it at a lower level. So now we've actually engaged a Wall Street investment bank as well too. It likes what we're doing with the timber. It appreciates what the gold is as well, but to still do some of the alluvial gold mining and be building that up. Part of that $15 million gets us back into commercial operations on gold and on timber, but on the alluvial side of gold. And then in the next levels, start to develop the hard rock operations that we know exist there as well.
And do you have a estimated resource on the gold at the moment? Or is
not right now,
still
no.
work in progress?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. We look to advance that, but the trees first.
The trees, because
get into cash flow, and then you'd look when you've got positive cash flow to get exploring a bit more on the gold side.
And increase our valuation as a company. We're looking to do a mixture of debt and equity as we raise funds. But we know that once we increase our valuation, we don't want to give away the whole farm today.
Sure.
So we increase our valuation and just keep stepping up in a proper way. Also, one of the reasons why we've engaged the investment bank as well to really help us strategize to create the best value for our shareholders, for the company, and going future and going public in the next 2 to 3 years is what we're looking.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for introducing the company for us today. Lance Michler, the CEO there of Holder Resources. Thanks very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.